Hi, in this tutorial, I'm really excited to show you how to set up a Google Shopping feed for your Business Catalyst website. This is Mike Salander with the BC Academy. So first of all, what is Google Shopping? Well, you may have heard of things like Google Product Search or Google Products, or even back in the day, Frugal. Well, Google Shopping is the modern day word for all of these things that Google once had. But simply put, it's products that are going to be displayed on the search engine results page or, on Google and under the shopping tag on Google. But let's remember that this is all for money. So this is another way to, pay per click. Let's briefly take a look at what this looks like on Google. So I did a search here for jerky links, and I can see that at the top, before the organic listings, I see these ads that for different products, and I can see one of our products right here for jerky links. I can also go over to the shopping tab and see all of the products listed here. And Google gives you some more options to filter and to find the particular product that you'd like. Then, if I click on one of these, I'll be taken to a different website off of Google onto a place where I can then buy this bag of jerky. But then Google is going to charge me for that particular click. On the back end, what this looks like is the Google Merchant Center. So here's where we manage all of our products that we want to get listed onto Google Shopping. And here I can see a quick overview of the active products, expiring, etc., and the amount of clicks that I'm paying for these products to be listed in search and for users to be taken over to my website. Before getting started, I want to go over the requirements of what is needed in order to accomplish this. First is we're going to need the XML feed app from the BC App Store in order to automatically create the feed that we're going to tie into Google Merchant Center account. The second is I'm going to need to create a free Google Merchant Center account. Then I will also need a Google AdWords account because that's going to be the actual place where I pay for the clicks of the products that I load into the Google Merchant Center. Before digging deep into each of these steps, let's take a high-level look at what we need to do. The first step is, as I mentioned, we need to purchase the XML feed app. Second is we need to set up our Google Merchant Center account with a few things we need to do there. We need to prepare our Business Catalyst products. Then we need to set up or prepare our XML feed using the app. Then we need to link our feed to the Google Merchant account. And then finally, I'm going to tell you about how to continually make sure that your changes get published to Google Merchant Center. Step number 1, we need to buy the XML app. So I'm going to take you over to the App Store where I quickly go through that process. Here I am at the BC App Store, and I've navigated to the XML feed app. I need to log in first in order to get the app. Once logged in, I'll now click the Install App button. And we'll see an Adobe Business Catalyst authentication screen pop up. Here's where I'm going to log into my partner account. Next, I'm going to type in and then find and select the website that I want to place this feed or this app on. Then click Authorize. I will then be taken to a payment screen where I'll fill out the payment information, click Place Order, and then within moments that app will go to the back end of my site. I will now go to the back end of the Jerky Links website and click on XML feed just to verify that it is in fact installed on the website. Next, we need to set up our Google Merchant account, such as our taxes, our shipping, and then linking to our AdWords account. So let's go ahead and take a look at that now. Here we are back at the Google Merchant Center, and I'm going to click on Settings and then Tax. So I want to set up tax for my particular account. In this case, it's in Illinois, and so I only need to charge in Illinois, and I have selected that particular state and said the Google determined rate. Or you can specify a flat tax. You can also add other states in which you might need to charge for tax as well. If you're wanting to make sure this matches what you have set up on your Business Catalyst website, go over to Ecommerce and then tax codes, and then you can go down and see what the tax is you have for the different states. So here I see I do have a 1.75 for Illinois. And so I can go ahead and come back here if I wanted to put in a flat tax and put 1.75, and I could choose whether or not I want that to be on shipping as well, and then I can click save. Next, I need to set up my shipping. And I have a lot of different options for setting up my shipping method. In this case, I want to reflect what I have on the actual website. So I'm going to go to the back end and see what I have there first. Back in the back end, we're going to go to shipping options. And for Jerky Links, I see that we've got quite a few different options. I've got 2nd-day air, 3-day select, and a variety of different ground shipping options that I want to apply. First, let's start and go with the 2nd day and the 3-day select. And so this looks like it's actually from UPS. So we can go over back to the shipping settings here. I'm going to go to carrier calculated rate. Can select the carrier UPS, and then my service is 2nd-day air. And then I need to put in the shipping origin zip code, 6047, and then we can add some adjustments if we want. And in this case, I'm not going to, but I need to put in the shipping name method. So I'm going to put 2nd-day air. And actually, I want this to be the AM, so 2nd-day air AM. Okay, and then we're going to hit save. So that's one option. I'm actually going to delete my FedEx option. I don't need that. And I'm going to add another option. And this one's going to be the 3-day select. And then I'm going to go down to carrier calculated rate, UPS, and then the 3-day select, and put in that same shipping origin and hit save. The next shipping option I want to set up is actually ground, but the way that we have this set up on Jerky Links is our ground shipping is not tied into UPS specifically, and our cost is actually different depending on the total price of the item. So you can see here from 0 to 9 it's $5.95, from 10 to $19.99 it's $7.95, so on and so forth. So I want to be able to put this into Google Shopping so I can have it similar as my website. The option I'm going to select here in Google Merchant Center is the rate table, and then I'm going to specify my rows. I want to specify my rows by price in US dollars, and I'm going to put in my different ranges here. All right, now I've entered in all of my ranges, and I want to add all other prices. So anything above $100 is going to fit into that one price category. Now that I've applied it, I can go over here and fill in all of my prices associated with these. Now that I have those entered in, there's just a couple things I forgot to put in, which is the ground, and then I can put the time in transit, how many business days that I want people to expect this to take. All right, now I've got all my details. I'm going to hit save, and I've got all of my shipping options defined. The last step I need to do is go over to AdWords and make sure that I'm linking my account to my AdWords account. So you're going to want to make sure that the email address that has access to the Google Merchant Center is also the email address that has access to your Google AdWords account. And if you don't have one already, then you can link your account or set up a new account. If it doesn't find one, that button will change. Last couple of things that I just skipped over because it's part of the creation process of the Google Merchant Center is that you need to have your website information here and then also verify your website. But again, that's part of the Google Merchant Center, which is a requirement of this. And then assuming you've got that set up, again, we've got to define our shipping, our tax, and link to our AdWords. All right, next up is we need to prepare our Business Catalyst products for this import. So certain things we need to make sure that we've got our prices defined for all of our products, and not just the sale price, but also the recommended retail price. If we're using things like UPS or USPS or FedEx integration with Google Shopping, then we need to make sure we've got our ship weights for the products in. And then third is we need to define our catalog structure. So let me just talk about that real quick. And that is the XML app, Feed app, allows you to pull in products from a particular catalog, but doesn't allow you to multi-select. So what I recommend doing is creating a separate Google Shopping catalog, making it disabled, and then adding any of the products that you want to be part of your Google Shopping in there. And depending on your situation, there may be an extra bonus in the fact that based on the performance of your products in Google Shopping, you may want to turn them on or off. And so that's kind of an easy way for you to know which ones are always in there. Just go to the product and then, remove it from that catalog if you no longer want it in Google Shopping, for instance. But if you have a shop catalog and all of your products are assigned to that and you want all of your products to go in, then you may not need to do this last step and you can just pull in the shop. But the important note there is that it's only going to pull in products that are specifically assigned to the shop catalog. It's not going to pull in all of the children subcatalogs and the products assigned to that unless that product is assigned to the parent catalog as well. To help us understand more of how we need to prepare our products, let's first look at the custom feed from the XML app. So I'm going to click on Add Custom Feed. And here I'm going to give the name of my feed URL. So I'm just going to call this, Google Shopping. You can call this whatever you would like. Then the description, I will also say Google Shopping, just so I know what this feed is for. Then I do want to make sure it's just enabled products. And then I'm going to select my source catalog. So you can see that I can pick, only the beef jerky or the entire shop or whatever it may be. But if I choose shop, let's see what happens here. And let's say, I have to set up my actual feed first. So I'm going to go over to, I'm going to hit create first. And there's not really going to be anything in here. It's error, right? But I need to go over to my instructions and I'm going to grab this information. So I need to come back and put this into the head. And it's really ideal if you just open this up in a new window instead of doing it each time. So I'll just kind of open that up in a new window so I can copy it over. And so this is for Google Merchant Center. And then I'm going to put this into the layout and then this into the footer. So this is constructing the XML file and then I'll hit update. So let's see what happens. If I view this, there's nothing in there. And that's because I don't have anything assigned to the overall shop catalog. But so what I'd like to do here is I'm going to go over to e-commerce and catalogs. I'm going to create a new catalog called Google Shopping. And I don't need this enabled. I don't need it to actually be a page on the website. And I don't need to include it in the XML feed. I'm going to hit save. And then I'm going to come back to my XML feed. Click on Google Shopping. I'm going to change this to Google Shopping. Hit update. Now there's still not going to be anything in there, but let me go over to my products and let me find a product like this one, for instance, and I'm going to add it to that Google Shopping one. Now we come back to this XML feed and hit update. We'll now see that that item is in here. Notice down here where it says your brand, we're definitely going to want to replace that with jerky links and then click update. All right, so part of the reason why we did this first is because I want to show you certain things like the price and the sale price. So we are pulling in tags that are retail price and sale price. Now you can customize this if you want, and you can go over to the reference here and you can pull in different prices right here. So if you want to do wholesaler prices, or maybe you just want both of them the sale price. But if you leave the default setup, what this means is that in order for Google to accept my feed, I'm going to need to have both a retail price and a sale price entered in for a particular product. So I want to go back to my product just to make sure that we have a recommended retail and a sale price in there, which we do. So that is great. The other thing I want to make sure of, which should already be the case because I'm using UPS on the integration on my actual website, is I want to make sure that the product weight in pounds is there, but it's not in this case. So I need that to be there in order for that integration to work. So let me go ahead and put in 1 pound here. And let's go back to my feed. In our feed, you'll notice though that we don't actually have a spot to put that. There's no tag to output that. So what we're going to do is we need to add a reference to it. So if we go over here, we're going to find our product weight. Come back over to our feed, and I'm going to add this in here. The tag for Google is going to look like this. So it's G and then shipping underscore weight. And then I need to close that tag here. Okay, so now I'll be able to have this where we'll integrate with those shipping. So here I have my shipping weight of 1, jerky links. Oh, but look, I still need to update this link right here. So let's see. I need to put in jerkylinks.com to make sure that my image URL is going to show up. Okay, hit update. Let's preview this again. And I just want to be extra sure before I publish this that this will take me to the right spot. And good, that is the actual image. So you can see here, if we come back and refresh this, that the information that we're pulling in is the link. We've got the brand, the sale price, the price, availability, condition, etc. All right, a couple other things you're probably going to want to edit here is the availability. So here I'm going to put in stock, and because all these products that I'm going to be sending over are going to be in stock. And then if you look at the description, what we're feeding in is the product meta product description. And this might be good. In our case, we actually don't have that filled out for the product. So either I need to go and fill that out for all those products, or I can pull in a different reference tag if I'd like. So let's see, let's search for description. So I can actually grab the description of the product instead. So we can paste that tag in here. And let's click update. All right, now looking at the new feed, you'll notice my description's in here, but kind of the downside of using the actual description is that it's going to have this HTML inside of it, which is not great. I'd really like to get the raw just text to send over. So in this case, I'm going to put my product meta description back here, update, and then I'd like to go over to my actual product itself and take this and put it into the product meta description. Now you might want to take some more time to actually come up with a better meta description, but for demo purposes, it's great. So then I have to update this again and come back and refresh. And now I've got my description in there, nice and great. The next thing is going to be the Google product category. So you're going to want to make sure that this aligns with your particular products. So for example, with all these jerky, they're pretty similar. They're all going to be in the same product category. But if your products are going to be in a different product category, what you probably want to do is use one of the custom fields to put in the number of the product category in Google that you want this to associate with. In order to find the IDs for the Google product category, I'm going to go just search it on Google to find this page where I'm going to say, I want to download the taxonomy with numeric IDs in Excel spreadsheet, and I'm going to download that file and open it up. There's a giant list of different catalogs that you can possibly put this in. So I'm not going to waste your guys' time now to find it, and I'll just put in the number that I know is appropriate for this account and I know is going to apply to all the products. So I'm coming back here to replace that number with my particular number. I'll click update one more time, and now I know I only have one product in here, but theoretically I do this for all the products that I wanted. And then now the last step is we need to link this to our Google Merchant Center account. Coming back into the Google Merchant Center, I'm going to click on the feed button. I'm just going to click a test for now. My feed type is products. I'm going to choose the country in which this is going to take place. Then I'm going to give this a feed name, and I'm going to say all products. And then click continue. What we want to do is select the scheduled fetches because we're going to grab this from our server, or more specifically, the Business Catalyst account. And so what is the name of the file you upload? Well, if I go over to my XML feed app, it's Google Shopping. And if I go, how often do I want this to refresh? Well, this is up to you. I'm just going to leave the standard. And then I need to give it my file URL. So I'm going to click on this, get the full URL, place it in here so you can see. And then I don't need a URL, or I'm sorry, I don't need a username and password in order to access it. It's a public URL. And then there's some advanced settings, and I said, yes, this is for shopping. And then I'll click save. Then what Google's going to do is it's going to fetch that feed, and then it's going to show me the results. So let's take a look. Now when I get to the actual feed, I want to click Fetch Now so I can see what the results are. It will take a minute or so in order for Google to grab the information and to bring it back to you with the results. So I'll bring you back in just a moment when I have those results. And here we have it. We have one item processed successfully. I do have a couple warnings here where it says it recommends to put in the product type and the unit pricing measure. So I can do both of those things, and yeah, I would recommend doing that, and you can look up the documentation to figure out how to add those particular items here. But I do have successfully a feed from my Business Catalyst website into Google Merchant Center, which is great. All right, a very important thing to note about making sure that your Google Shopping feed is continually being updated with the correct information is that the app does not automatically update the XML file, which is a little bit of a bummer, but hey, we got a nice integration here and it's saving us a lot of time already. So to update the Google Shopping feed, what you need to do is go into the app, just select your feed and click update. So that what that will do is it will refresh and update the XML file. Then on that next iteration of the schedule that you set in Google Shopping, Google will then update its information based on that updated XML document. Now you should be ready to start selling your products on Google and start driving more business to your Business Catalyst website. This has been Mike Salander with the BC Academy, and I thank you for watching the video on Google Shopping feed for Business Catalyst. Thanks again.